Robert with Robert Nixon Real Estate and Aron Welsh from Pacific Nations. Sorry, Auto Finance and Sales.
Pacific Nations Auto Sales and Finance.
Oh, backwards. Auto Sales
Hey guys.
and Finance. Yeah, so if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Aron Welsh. I'm the general manager partner here at Pacific Nations Auto Sales and Finance. We're a used car dealership in Cam River. We just opened up about 2 years ago, and really excited to sit with Robert today and get the word out that we're downtown, ready to give you guys some good quality used vehicles.
Right next to CNL.
Right next to CNL, yeah.
And am I allowed to say anything about the competition?
Island Owl? He's a good guy. Right beside Island Owl.
Well, Island Owl, so when I interviewed him, he was suggested that I interview Aron. And I said, well, he's your competition. You don't want me to interview him. And I had no clue who you were, right?
Yeah.
So he helped to get your name out there. But then someone else told me that you guys had a little competition going on.
Oh, yeah. It's a friendly competition.
Who can sell more? Well, you guys are friends, obviously. And
Ben pops over once a day and checks how we're doing. And
does he?
I pop over there and see how he's doing. And it's a good motivation for us to just kind of keep us both working hard and trying to beat the other guys.
And then you guys have some partners that are sort of mutual as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Carl and Steve, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. One big happy family.
Yeah.
So a couple questions, and you can just tell us a little about your business and what you do. But first one is you're a general manager and business partner of Pacific Nations. How long have you been with them? Did you start this company?
I did, yeah. We started this company, actually this month is our 2-year anniversary. So we started June of 2017, Nicole and I. This building used to be like kind of the storage room for Ford in between being a dealership. So when we kind of moved in here, it was just full of a bunch of old antique furniture from the 70s.
Nice.
A bunch of old paperwork.
A little more modern now.
Yeah, I mean, we got her painted, we got her cleaned up, did a bunch of yard work out there, and filled the lot up with cars and good staff and stuff, so it's a lot more hospitable now.
Yeah,
but,
cool.
It's
and the body shop was right next door, right? Before?
Yeah, it used to be right there. There was a big building kind of blocking our view, but now we can see Starbucks.
Oh, the building's actually gone?
Starbucks can see us. Yeah, they flattened it right out, so now we've got more lot over there and more visibility.
Cool,
nice.
Awesome. So what did you do before becoming an owner of Pacific Nations?
So I've been in the car business since 2006. Started actually in this exact building. It used to be called Automax Superstore back then. My mom's boyfriend at the time, Jens Nielsen, kind of opened the door for me to get into car sales. I was in college at the time, taking a Bachelor of Science, and was back home for the summer. And typically when I came home, I would go over to Cape Mudge and be a lifeguard for the summer. Oh, yeah. But this year I was just kind of waiting for that. That started in July, and I was kind of working at a gas station out in Campbellton there. And my mom said, Jens is looking for a salesman, you should go talk to him. And I'd never really considered being a car salesman. It was just something that never even crossed my mind. It was just a job that wasn't on my radar at all. And I was like, a car salesman? Okay, I'll try it. Because like in college, I was working nights selling shoes at a store called Transit, which was mostly just a retail job, but they gave you a little bit of commission, which I found really exciting. Just the fact that you could work as hard as you want and make a little more money. So I was like, well, I like sales, so I'll go down there and talk to him. That'll be cool. And I got down here, and he had another guy working for him, and he was kind of saying, yeah, I've been here for a few months. I've been doing really good, and I'm making a pretty stable income. And the numbers they were telling me, I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like,
I don't know, younger out of college.
Well, exactly.
Sure,
and
right?
In my second year of college, I'd done some investigating into kind of what kind of job would come from that degree, and the money these guys were making selling cars seemed to be comparable.
What was the degree, sorry, again?
Bachelor of Science. Oh, yeah. So I went to go see a career advisor, and he kind of turned me off. He was like, here's a list of jobs that you could get afterwards. You know, you could be a lab assistant, this, and this, and then he says security guard. I said, security guard?
Really?
I could go do that right now. I don't need to be here for 4 years to do that, do I? So it's just one of those things. It was kind of an eye-opener for me. And it just, school wasn't really my thing. And when I found a job that kind of matched my personality, I've always been a kind of guy that likes to sell things and had an interest in business. Yeah. And then when I got here, Jen's kind of opened that door for me. And I just loved it. As soon as I started, it was just an awesome career and got right into it. So.
Cool. Yeah, it's funny how things work.
Yeah, for sure.
And you'd have to really love something, I think, to go to school for 4 years and make.
Yeah, I love biology.
You didn't go to school.
In high school, I loved it, but I don't know. College was a little bit different. And just eventually, at that age, I was just tired of going to school every day. So.
I bought my first house and I liked real estate. I thought it was cool. It's definitely not what I thought it was, but it's still neat. And I was a heavy duty mechanic before that, so big change.
Yeah. How old were you when you bought it?
My first house?
Yeah.
23, I think.
Oh yeah, so pretty young. You got into it.
I still got it. It's in Fort St. John. I got laid off 6 months later, but
nice.
That's a long story too.
Awesome.
Have you ever owned any other businesses, or do you currently own any other businesses?
No other businesses. So basically, when I started here, I've been with Ford or Steve Marshall Ford ever since 2006.
Yeah.
Had a brief kind of hiatus. Went to Camden for Hyundai for about a year, but returned to Ford right after that, and was with those guys until I started this, and went into partnership with Carl and Steve in this business. So it's been they've been my team this whole time. So
and nice to be able to go to them for questions and stuff like that.
Man.
Right?
Carl's
probably a work in progress.
Yeah, I mean, Carl knows so much. Steve's been doing it forever. He's an excellent role model, so good partners to have. For sure.
Is there anything that you had known when you were first starting out? So that was a long time ago, but...
Yeah, like in car sales?
We're first starting out in this business.
In this business, yeah. I mean, this business, we were pretty fortunate that before we really opened the doors here, I got to kind of test it out under Steve Marshall's umbrella. So I was basically running this business model under that dealership. So kind of just running my own department at Steve Marshall Ford for about a year and a half, and just kind of testing the waters. So by the time we opened Pacific Nations, we already had a huge client following, kind of had everything ironed out. So it was nice that, we got to work out all those kinks before we actually opened our own business. So it was kind of nice.
Yeah, for sure. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Not trial and error. What makes you passionate about what you do?
I've always been passionate about just, like I say, selling things and financing. Like even when I was a kid.
Do you do the finance? Are you like finance?
Yeah, I arrange the financing here. So get people loans with the banks and stuff like that. But I mean, just the finance end of things, like money has always excited me.
Yeah.
So
me
like
too.
when I was a kid, like grade 3, the summer of grade 3, I remember I would go to the Save-On parking lot in Nanaimo every day and search for shopping carts to return them for the quarters.
Really?
And I'd go up to people and be like, "Hey, can I take your shopping cart back?" And maybe get $2 or $3 a day. But that was awesome, and it was just something that I liked working and getting paid for it right away. And car sales is similar. It's all commission based, so the harder you work, the better you do, right?
That's what I like about sales. Is it's not whether you're doing a good job or a bad job, you're always treated the same. It's if you do a good job, you can work your way somewhere, right? Whether busier or more money or.
Yeah, and that's kind of why
busy if you don't want to be.
I left college because that was the thing I felt. I don't want to get a job where I'm just capped at what I'm doing. And that's what I'm passionate about, is just trying to have personal growth and do my best.
Yeah,
and car sales is one of those industries where, if you want to put a lot of time into personal growth and training and just, being the best person you can be and being the best businessman you can be, you're going to get paid more money for it. Whereas a lot of other industries, you can do all the training you want, but your salary is going to be your salary.
Yeah,
and that never excited me. So.
What about the financing part of it? Because you guys deal with more, what do you call it? What kind of financing deal with? Like harder to finance or?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing financing for probably 13 years.
Yeah.
So like I say, I used to be the finance manager at Steve Marshall Ford.
Oh, okay.
Did that role for about 5 or 6 years. And dealt with all sorts of financing: good credit, bad credit, leasing, financing, commercial, fleet, everything. So I'm very versed in all types of financing.
But you guys specialize in?
I think it seems that way because I know how to do it.
I thought because I thought you guys advertised that or something. Why do I?
We do for sure. But,
right.
I mean,
but that's not all you do, and you don't want to obviously know that.
But I just think there's a lot of dealerships out there that don't do subprime financing at all.
So
you go in there, and if you don't have a good credit score, they basically just kick you out. And they say, you don't qualify for a loan.
Facebook ads where I've seen it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we want the word to be out there that if you need a reliable vehicle, we're the ones to get it for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about your credit score. We're going to help you out. Whereas a lot of other dealerships, you'll come in and it's kind of, you're on the edge of your seat wondering, are they going to approve me for a car loan? And when they don't approve you, it never feels that good, right?
It's funny because I always thought car loans were the things anyone can get.
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty big process to it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have good credit and stuff, I guess. But I guess what I was getting at there, though, is it must be a little bit rewarding to be able to help people that maybe can't quite get it done or don't think they can, and
that's really rewarding.
Seeing them be able to get a vehicle that they...
That's nice. It's one of the big things that we pride ourselves on is helping people rebuild their credit. Where they can't get a loan somewhere else, we help them get into one get in that
So
second
will you help them
chance.
get to that point if they're not there and tell them what to do?
Oh,
to
for sure,
fix it?
yeah.
Like a mortgage broker would do that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Good broker.
I actually had a broker that did that for me when I was young. I went through some financial difficulties, just being a young guy, getting in way over my head. So I've actually been through bad credit myself when I was young. So, not only has it been my career for 13 years, I've actually experienced myself,
which is important for sure.
Yeah, I can relate to people, and I remember the guy that gave me that advice was super helpful and helped me get on my way. So we always try to do that as well. And just, if we can't sell them today, we want to set them up so we can at least sell them a car at some point.
Yeah, and they'll come back to you because you're providing value, right? Which is what we try and do as well, provide value.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about, provide value and obviously promote other businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you failed at during your career, and how would you do it differently now? Or if you knew what you know now?
I don't think so. I mean...
no failures?
Failing's a pretty big word. I've made mistakes for sure.
Yeah.
And all-out failure, I don't think so. I think I've made a lot of mistakes and learned from them.
Yeah, which that's a failure, a small failure, right?
Yeah, I mean...
But yeah, big failures wouldn't be...
I try to keep a pretty positive mind state, so to say I failed, I would never say that.
Right,
I've learned a lot of things, but failing...
A lot of lessons.
No, I haven't failed. I hope I don't fail. I want to keep learning, but hopefully not the hard way.
Learning and growing. Yeah. They say you have to fail to learn, but I get what you're saying. You don't want to fail.
Yeah, for sure.
Little lessons along the road.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you say is your biggest accomplishment in your career, or have you reached your biggest accomplishment yet? Do you have somewhere?
Well, my biggest accomplishment would have been opening Pacific Nations.
Yeah, that's pretty big for sure.
That was something that I wanted to do from the very first month that I started selling cars. Was open my own dealership. Steve Marshall was a really big role model. He was the youngest Ford dealer ever in Canada.
Oh, really?
I think he was like 22 or something.
Crazy.
So when I started selling cars, I was 20. And I was like, oh, I want to have a Ford dealership by the time I'm 22.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a pretty big shoes to follow in, and obviously that didn't happen. But, by my early 30s, I was able to open a dealership. I think that's kind of a big achievement in this day and age.
Yeah, totally, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Favorite memory of your career?
I mean, our team at Ford was awesome. We had about 6 or 7 guys there that were all really good friends. So it's kind of that whole few years working at Ford is always going to be a really good memory for me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the golden years. Like we would go to work and all your best friends are there with you. You go to work, do your job, all your buddies are there. Go out after work, have a couple beers, go play poker or something with the exact same guys. So
Shane was trying to sell me a truck in this morning.
Was he?
Just
nice?
Just buy a new one. I'm like, no. It's paid off.
Shane,
go away.
and Ben, and Carl, and Scott, all these guys that were really good friends. I mean, to me, that was a pretty special time that will always be a good memory for me.
Yeah, cool. Is there any other profession besides the one that you're currently in that you would like to attempt?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we're still growing in this industry. So, opening a used dealership is nice. One day I'd like to get a franchise dealership and kind of just keep expanding that way. So there's a lot of things that we can still do.
So maybe
in
a
this
different
industry.
role within.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this has always been my life. I've always been really passionate about the car business, so it's what I'd want to do. If I was to do something else, it would probably be like a dog walker.
Really?
Yeah, I love dogs.
Right, because you get dogs and they're hard to travel with.
Totally, man. And I see these people that are dog walkers and I'm jealous. I'm like, that looks so awesome. Just go take these dogs out to the bush every day. I could do that. So that's probably what I would do.
That's like retirement gigs.
Yeah,
you don't need money anymore, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it could be good money. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's fun. It's relaxing. That's
do
nice.
it for the rich people. What's the next one here? How do you feel... So this was an interesting one when Carl sort of answered it, but how do you feel the business has changed in the last 10 years? A big one for you and Ben and stuff, and for probably marketing, social media, and what do you do to stay ahead of all? So changes in the industry and what sort of marketing changes and
for sure. Social media was a big one for sure. About 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, is when I started kind of building the idea of Pacific Nations and doing it under the C. Marshall Ford umbrella, and that was all on Facebook. That was just all Facebook marketing. And it was a real niche back then. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of guys doing it.
Sorry, how many years ago was this?
That was probably 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. So it was before now where...
It's about when I started doing it.
You go on Facebook, and there's 100 car salesmen sending you friend requests, sending you messages. There's 100 dealership Facebook pages, 1,000 ads. It's all over social media now. Whereas back then it wasn't so prevalent. So you could kind of stand out just by being on social media. And it's kind of what got us into this position, was taking advantage of that niche. But now with everybody on there, my belief is that the next big change is just going to come from elevating the level of service.
Right.
So giving way, way better customer service, and really just going back to the sales basics of building relationships with people. Because now with how easy it is to reach everyone, like we do business all over the province, so you can reach millions, thousands of people on the internet, right? So
yeah, that's crazy.
What happens is that there's a lot of dealers out there that are they're in for the one sale and that's it, and they don't have any after sale service. And that's going to be, I think, what defines the successful dealerships from the unsuccessful dealerships moving forward. Social media has been great to get in front of customers, but it's really empowering customers too, that if they deal with somebody that they're not happy with, it's pretty easy for them to get that word out. And word's traveling very fast nowadays. So I just think that being really customer centric, standing behind what you sell, supporting your customers, being there for them, that seems like a traditional thing, but I think that's coming around to be the wave of the future again as well.
And trying to deal with issues like Ben's whole, he's got how many, bring Ben up, but you probably got lots of reviews too.
Yeah,
hundreds. He's like the review king. I don't have very many, so I'm just sort of looking at how he does it, if there's something we could change.
I think we've actually got more than Ben.
Do you got more than Ben? I'm going to have to look now.
We had a competition last year and we smoked
how many do you have? So what do you do to get yours?
I think like
that's the same
300 or 400 5-star Google reviews. Like we're 5-star on Google,
so how do you get
5-star on Facebook. Just that, we give excellent customer service.
But do you ask people to do them?
Yeah, after every sale.
Yeah.
We
that's
just
what
say,
I've started doing.
Do you guys mind rating us on Google? And most people are happy to do it if you've given them good service.
Yeah, of course.
If you've given them bad service, they're even happier to do it. So that's how you get those 1 stars. So make sure you're giving good service and you'll be a 5-star dealer.
What can I do to make this a 5-star service?
Yeah, exactly.
What was I going to say there? Yeah, interesting. Social media. Oh, what about changes in the industry besides marketing? So sorry, going back to the marketing though. I my highest source of income comes directly from Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Facebook advertisements. So I hear you there. But I think starting like back when you did, or I might have started then too. You might have been a little bit before me. I've been in real estate 3.5 years, so I started Facebook marketing right away, pretty much. But being there and sort of branding yourself on Facebook that long probably helps compared to the people that are new to it. Right?
Oh, it does for sure. Yeah. I mean, right now, like our Facebook profiles, like personal profiles, not our page. We've got over 20,000 people. From all across Vancouver Island and going deeper into the interior BC. So when we first started Vancouver Island, kind of Cam River up to Port Hardy, Tofino, and kind of Nanaimo was kind of our main area.
That's cool with car dealerships. You can do that. With real estate sales, it's a lot
You can't.
harder.
You're kind of trapped in
No, but it's neat, though. I just noticed that it's easier to expand, right?
Yeah. Well, last year was our first year doing this, and we opened that up. So we were down in Duncan a lot more, Victoria. This year it seems we're up in Bella Coola, Prince Rupert, Terrace. We had a guy from Fernie, which is on the Alberta border. He said Pacific Nations is the most popular dealership in Fernie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's funny, though, like even just sitting here talking, I think I remember seeing your ads on Facebook in Fort Mac when I used to be there.
Could be.
But I lived in Campbell River, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it would have been connected because you're this area or whatever, maybe. Yeah, and I was from here. I doubt you'd target ads in Fort Mac, but maybe.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. But I mean, that's the beauty of social media. It goes where you don't even know it's going, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't advertise on Fernie either, but we're out there and people have a good reputation and a good image of us, so we just got to keep that up and keep
if you know you're getting a good image there, keep doing it for sure.
Exactly.
I'm working on other ways besides social media. Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Besides all the old school stuff, like what do I do to get?
Well, I've always seen your bus
more
benches.
Lead generation.
Like I've seen those for years. I used to do those too.
Yeah, we're talking about keeping them or not.
They're good, man. I think for the cost of those, that's how I originally knew your name.
Yeah, well, there you go. Exactly.
But you had everyone in town, so that helps.
Yeah, exactly. So does help. Where were we here? How much does it change? What are your long-term goals? You sort of touched on that briefly, but...
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, having a used dealership is awesome, but I think it's kind of my first step in becoming what I would consider an actual car dealer, which would be to have a franchised dealership, like a
So are all the
GMC
big dealerships like franchised? Like you can't own, like you have to own buy the franchise. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, a franchise just means that there's a brand behind it. So whether it's Ford or Mazda or Nissan or whatever it is, you're selling for that brand, which is nice because you always get a supply of new vehicles, whereas at a used dealership, we're constantly searching for good used vehicles. So, having a manufacturer behind you that just says, well, here's as many vehicles as you need, that solves a big
as your inventory
problem.
depletes down, you stock up the shelves instead of searching for the product, right?
And just all sorts of different support that manufacturers will give to a dealership. So that's kind of the next plateau that I see myself going to.
Is there a certain brand that you like?
I think that there's a big opportunity for a brand like Kia. It's a pretty kind of cutting edge brand.
Something good on fuel, probably.
Something good on fuel. Something that's affordable. Kia kind of markets to our generation, kind of the younger generations. So that's something that I could get behind. But I mean, I'm not picky. As long as it's a brand that's got a good quality.
And they probably only allow a certain amount of certain brands in certain towns too, so you have to be careful how many.
The nice thing about brands,
another Ford dealership might not work, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, it wouldn't. But the nice thing about brands is that everybody likes certain brands, so you can basically pick anything, and you're going to have a pretty big audience.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's true. Everyone's biased or they had a bad experience with one and they like the other.
Exactly.
Do you have any advice for someone who might be interested? I'd say either starting a business with a partner or on their own. Yeah. I was going to change that question, but do you have any advice for anyone that wants to start a business with a partner or on their own?
Yeah, I mean, kind of what I touched on there, just kind of testing it under somebody else's umbrella is usually a good idea.
I wish I'd done that.
I think. I mean, before you go and put all your money into it, have you ever heard of the 10,000 hour rule? You're not a master in your profession until you put in 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours.
So I just think it's probably best to have somebody paying you for those 10,000 hours while you're learning and making mistakes, rather than hopping into it with your own money, making mistakes, losing money.
Well, at least I've been in the industry for sure,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if tomorrow I decide I want to become a baker and I have 0 hours experience, Pacific Nations Bakery is probably not going to do that.
Flatbread. We made flatbread.
Yeah, I made you a grilled cheese. You want it?
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, a lot of work. So what about someone getting into car sales? Are you guys always hiring? Do you have enough sales?
We're hiring. We need more sales guys right now. So if you're looking for a good career, come on down to Pacific Nations. If you've got a good personality, you're outgoing, you're not afraid to get on the camera, and you're familiar with social media, then come on down here. And I started when I was 20. I think young guys have a really good opportunity to build a solid career in Campbell River, and something that they can make good money at and be really happy with. Like my young cousin Quinn, this is his second summer with us. I think he's like 20 or 21. He loves it. He says it's just an awesome career. He just loves coming to work.
Yeah.
He's finishing his business degree right now, but he says this is an industry that he would really like to get into. So it's not probably on the top of everyone's mind to become a used car salesman. But when you get here, it's actually a pretty enjoyable career.
It might be better than you think,
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of freedom with it, and
whatever's out there.
People enjoy it, so.
Cool. I never would have thought of getting into sales at all myself.
Yeah?
It just happened.
What were you doing before? You were on
heavy-duty mechanic. Mechanic, yeah.
Nice.
And I used to fish and stuff when I was younger, went commercial fishing and stuff. I grew up on Hornby, right? So, yeah, I got sick of the oil sands.
I was checking out your Facebook profile. I thought you were like a professional bodybuilder or
yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger double.
That's why I'm selling real estate.
Yeah, there you go.
No, but I like to bodybuild. I've done a couple shows and stuff, and maybe do another one day. We'll see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a lot of work for sure, but it's fun. I like it.
I had a bet with Ben one time to do with lifting weights.
Oh yeah.
We were out in Tofino, a whole group of guys from work, and had a couple drinks. And Ben was pretty big at bench pressing at that time. He had bench pressed 365 pounds, and I could bench press about 145. Plate aside was like pretty good for me.
Do you work out now?
No, I never really worked out very often. No. But Ben was like, dude, I'm way stronger than you. And I was like, no, you're not, Ben. You're just more trained. I could easily lift that if I just put some time into it.
Right.
And he didn't agree. So we bet $2,000 that in 2 years, I couldn't bench press 365 pounds, which, as you probably know, is a pretty big gap from 145.
Yeah. It's a good goal, though, to set.
It was a good goal. And I spent a year and a half not working out at all.
How many years? Sorry, 3 years?
2 years. 2 years. Yeah. So I had 6 months left. And my friend Scott was like, how are you doing with your bench pressing? Have you even been to the gym? And I was like, no, I haven't. And he said, you've given up, haven't you? And I said, I'm kind of thinking about just telling Ben he wins. And he said, don't do that. Ben will never let you live it down. I was like, you know what, you're right. So I called Jeff Messenger and put a solid 6 months in with him and won the bet.
And you did it.
I did it.
What defined being able to just once?
Just once, yeah. It was actually at a year and a half, I negotiated Ben down because that's what I do. I'm a negotiator. Down to 315, so I had to bench press 315, but that was a personal best.
One rep. Had to touch the chest and come all the way back up?
Yeah, and if you ask Ben, he says my form was way off because I lifted my butt off the bench, but he never put that in the rules. So
at that point, who cares? Well, you see the powerlifters with the arched backs.
Oh,
these
mine was
12-year-old girls that are like, they're like hip bones are up there almost level above their head. It's crazy, and they're benching 300 pounds.
That's what I look like for sure.
I don't know. Crazy. So off topic a bit there, but so yeah, if you want to get into car sales, come see him right next to CNL. Anything I should have asked you but didn't, or anything you want to say about?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to mention all the guys that have been my mentors. I think that's a big thing in business is, having good mentors and, appreciating that. And you've interviewed a couple of them. Carl Ebdrup has always been a big motivation for me. He's my partner now, but he's always been a guy that really inspires me, a guy with a lot of knowledge. Shane Luckenock was another one. He was my boss at Ford for a few years, and really solid guy, really good businessman. He was another guy that's kind of helped guide me, inform me. And another guy, Al Duns. I don't know if you know Al Duns, but he's a partner at Mazda there. A really knowledgeable guy. When I first started, he took me under his wing and kind of taught me everything about financing and stuff like that. And I think those three guys were like my main mentors and my main motivation still to this day to make them happy and impress them.
Shout out to them. Shane Luckenock.
Not
Shane Luckenock.
Carl Ebdrup and Al Duns. And I think you should interview Al next.
Al?
He's a very interesting.
Yeah, that was the next question. Who should I interview next?
Oh, Al Duns. There you go.
Al Duns.
Yeah.
He's Mazda?
Mazda, yeah. Or my mom. My mom works there too, Stephanie. And she's a wonderful woman. Okay. A lot like Ben. She's out there on social media doing videos all the time. So. Oh, really? She'd be very interesting as well.
Oh, interesting. And I think that comes back to sort of any mentality of coaching and stuff is if you surround yourself with people who you want to be like or are better than you, then you can pick up those things from them, right? If they're willing to help, but usually you do it naturally anyways. So.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to work on that one. It's harder in a small town, I think.
To find people to mentor you?
I have a coach, right? I've always had a coach, but
yeah,
just the right group of people to surround yourself with, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like business-minded people, I guess.
Yeah, I mean those guys.
Nothing's impossible. But.
It's good to have some competition, like on your same generation, like me and Ben.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have younger guys like my cousin that, you're kind of training as well. So it's just kind of a cycle where there's lots of different levels, but
Yeah, for sure. Real estate's competitive too.
Is that?
It's good and bad. I don't know. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Aron with Pacific Nations.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching. If anyone's watching.
Have a great day.
Bye.